In the most difficult situation in football, desperate times call for desperate measures. And in that fire was forged the QB sneak, the goal line shove, the tush push. A play that pits two masses of humanity in a head-to-head clash of the titans to see who will be the victor. But where does it come from? And why do we use it? The Trash Talk Tailgate is here to explain it all.
It's the Trash Talk Tailgate.
Strong right slot, see right. Spider 2 wide and seal. You're gonna call it like a super famous play you've already gotten wrong.
In football, you have 4 plays to get 10 yards at the start of every drive. The goal is to get those yards and keep driving. If you don't get them, then the other team gets the ball, whether it's by a punt or a turnover on downs. The quarterback sneak isn't play 1 or 2. If you have 1 yard and it's your 4th and final play, that's tush push time. It's not flashy and doesn't gain a lot of yards. It's tough, gritty, and plays on one of the essential truths of football. The low man always wins. Football's all about leverage. One of the essential things in football is that it's big men moving bigger men. Like the whole point of football is to drive someone off the line. Like, you have to physically push someone off of where they are. Like, you have to drive them backwards. If you're trying to move something heavy, you're going to want to get up under it to try to move it. The low man always wins, like, because you're trying to move a very big, heavy object off of, like, his spot. Like, that's what football is you're trying to move big people. Leverage is king. Like World War I, it's all about the trenches. The 5 offensive linemen and however many defensive linemen the defense chooses to try and stop them, whoever wins the trenches wins the play, and whoever wins the plays usually wins the game.
After sorting through some questionable history about a certain misinformation agent, Graham Winklebaum, and a Harvard versus Yale game in 1912 that didn't involve him, we have done the research and we have found the origins of the QB sneak. And the origins of the QB sneak are almost as old as the game itself. They come from the 1910s, back when you used to punt in the same formation that you passed in, and your running back was the one that did the punting. In those days, you could simply hike the ball to your then quarterback, who would be just like a fake punt, going to the up back, boom, running, surprise everybody, boom. And as time went, you get Bears head coaching great George Halas in the 1930s, who changed the concept of the quarterback run forever. Got him under center, got him in the position to make great plays, developed an offense around where you could do a bunch of different stuff. And then you get Sam Luckman, you get Bart Starr, Joe Montana, Tom Brady, and now Jalen Hurts. These quarterbacks and their respective coaches have molded and shaped the idea of the quarterback run into what we know today. But if it wasn't for a fateful game in 2005, when the University of Southern California played Notre Dame, and USC quarterback Matt Leinart, along with help from running back Reggie Bush, they pushed their way into history and scored a touchdown that was as controversial then as it is now. The tush push was born, and that sparked an evolution in the QB sneak that has led us to today, where there is now a 93% increase in people complaining about the play. And for that, we got Dr. Preston to give you more.
So the goal of a QB sneak play is the offensive linemen are all going to go as low as they possibly can, and then the quarterback is just going to kind of follow them. Like, the whole point is to get the defensive lineman kind of cleared out. Like, the whole point is to move the defense even 6 inches backwards. If you can gain 6 inches of leverage on the defense, the quarterback sneak is probably going to be successful. So the whole point is the offensive line to kind of move those defensive linemen out a little bit, like clear them out, like move them. And then the quarterback just kind of follows them. Like he looks for a hole or a gap, and then he just quickly takes advantage of it to just try to either dive or gain for, a yard or two. That's basically the whole point.
A thing like the tush push, the quarterback sneak, is that it's a combination of technique and strength. You need to have the ability to get underneath the other team and get in position to move them, but then you also need the power, the strength, the core ability to actually do it once you get there. You need both of those things in this play, and I think that's why a team like the Eagles has been so successful, because they know that you need both of those things, and they've worked on both of those things.
The Eagles coined the brotherly shove, aka the tush push, 2 years ago when they got quarterback Jalen Hurts as their starter. And what the play is essentially Jason Kelsey, their center, basically dives at the nose tackle, at the defensive lineman. And the other linemen, the two guards, follow suit, and they all go as low as they possibly can at the defensive lineman. And then Jalen Hurts takes the snap, and he essentially just looks for a lane. It's essentially an evolution of a QB sneak with really good players, with just a push element at the end, with the two skill guys pushing Jalen Hurts forward. I think that's kind of what people argue is not really football, but like that's not an argument. I think the other thing that people have a problem with is just that the Eagles are so good at it, because they're successful 93% of the time that they run this play. It's kind of a combination of like just the perfect ingredients. If they didn't have the offensive line, it wouldn't work. If they didn't have Jalen Hurts, it wouldn't work. The best way to stop it as a defense is don't let them get into 3rd and 4th and 1 situations. Put them in a 3rd and 12. Put them in a 3rd and 6. Like don't allow them to get to that point.
I guess my point is their coach wanted to do the tush push better than any team in NFL history. So he went out and he got a team together and he worked on the tush push until they were doing it better than anyone else. They have an amazing offensive line. They got a freak of a quarterback that can squat 600 pounds. They spend the time working on that play. And on top of that, their team has one of the best defensive lines in the NFL that they practice against. So when they work on the tush push, their offensive line is going against one of the arguably best defensive lines in the whole NFL. So they're practicing against someone that may be better than who they play on Sunday or, Saturday or Monday or Thursday, whatever day they play. They have all the ingredients they need to make a je ne sais quoi big man, big push recipe. And my thing about people saying that this play is more dangerous, that's why it should be banned because it's more dangerous. There's no numerical evidence that this is a more dangerous play than any other one play in football. A lot of times they say, the quarterback's extended out with his arm out, leaving his head and neck open for shots. They say that, there's a pile of humanity when the two lines meet, people get hurt and stuff like that. But all those factors kind of coming in a lot of plays, and there are no numbers to back it up. It's all just, it could be dangerous. Look at E, this could be dangerous. But that's the game of football. It's all dangerous like that. Honestly, out of all the people that are complaining about the tush push, it's got to be about a 95% butthurt rate, all right? It's that simple. Those folks are just mad because the Eagles went out, they assembled a team, and they put in the time to be the best. That's why they're mad. They're mad because a team did it. A team put in the work that it took to be the best, and here we are.
My last point is this. Why are we punishing teams for doing certain things better than other teams or having advantages that other teams don't necessarily have? Should we ban Tyreek Hill of the Miami Dolphins because he's just faster than everyone and no one on the defense can catch him? Oh, it's not fair. It's not fair. We can't stop Tyreek Hill. Should we ban Travis Kelce because no one seems to be able to bracket him and take him out of a game? Should we ban Aaron Donald because he's the best defensive player in the game and he can absolutely wreck an entire offensive line? Like, where do we stop with this? Where do we stop? Why are we punishing the Eagles for building a team the right way and having a dominant offensive line that can absolutely maul people and get third and fourth down conversions when it's third and fourth and short? Why are we punishing them? That's a proper way to build a team. They've got absolute bubs everywhere. Why are we punishing them for that? That's my point, and that's why the tush push should absolutely not be banned.